What's up, people? Welcome back to the Ordinary Reds YouTube channel, and this is why Scholes is wrong about Anthony Martial. Let's get into it. So today, on the 13th of October, Paul Scholes came out with some pretty crazy quotes. First one I'll read. The problem with MUFC's forwards is that none of them is an actual centre forward. Martial almost conned us into thinking he was one at the end of last season because he scored so many goals and was quite good. Martial started the season quite poorly again, which makes you think he isn't a centre forward. It's misleading. That's why I said we need a top class number 9. And this is why I do not agree with any of these statements, and I think they're ridiculous. So let's get into Tony Martial's stats for last season. He scored 23 goals in all competitions and got 11 assists, which is the most for any player, so most assists and most goals for the season, and he was also the player's player of the season. It was Martial's first real opportunity at the starting striker spot as the number 9, the main number 9 of the team, since Van Gaal. When he came in under Van Gaal in 2014, was it? 2015? I think it was 2015. He was just an 18-year-old unknown striker. He was played as a striker for a good few games under Van Gaal, but was then pushed to the left wing in place of Wayne Rooney up top. So he never really got a full shot, but he did end up scoring 16 goals that season, so you did see the potential in him as an 18-year-old. His career under Mourinho was stop-start, to say the least. Mourinho never really liked him, even bringing in Alexis Sanchez to replace the player. Even when Martial had around 11 goals before Christmas, we brought in Alexis Sanchez in January just to swap him out. It made no sense. He was on a roll, 10 goals, I think it was 10 assists as well, or close enough to it. I could be wrong, I might be fluffing the stats there a little bit, but he had a lot of assists as well at the same time. He's probably our best player that year. Mourinho chose to stick him out left wing and then try to replace him for Sanchez, which never really worked out, which was a stupid decision. And yeah, his form has been up and down since. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came straight in and made him the number 9 straight away. He even gave him back his infamous number 9 shirt that Zlatan took off him at the time, which was then given to Lukaku, which was then given back to Martial. And I don't think he's really looked back. I think he's looked super improved in the way we play. I think he's probably been one of our best players this last year. He was really consistent throughout all last season. He was injured for 2 months at the start of the season when he wasn't scoring, which because he wasn't playing, so what can you do? But then came back and was scoring like a house on fire, and then came back after lockdown and continued to score. He was definitely our best player after lockdown, along with Bruno Fernandes, and his hold-up play was elite. He was really, really good at holding up the ball. His link-up play was immense. He even had Paul Scholes saying 2 months ago, this is 2 months ago, Martial has played 4 games since the start of the season. Paul Scholes said 2 months ago, Martial turned himself into a proper number 9. When he's square onto a player and runs at them, I think he's unstoppable. So what's changed in 2 months? I think there's such a clear bias with the ex-English players towards the foreign players, and they really don't ever try to hide it. It's actually kind of worrying sometimes because you see these ex-players, they hop on TV, they get paid a lot of money to come on TV and give their opinion. And then they come on and they spout the most stupid stuff sometimes. It'd be like, what do you think United need to improve? Right, so what's the problem with United at the moment? Our defence is shocking. We spent 80 million on a player and we're letting in 11 goals in 3 games. But no, instead of criticising the English defender who's being terrible, the English right back who hasn't been great either, Rashford at left wing who hasn't been amazing either, you go to the centre forward in Martial, who hasn't really had the service, or we haven't had a good game. The whole team's been so inconsistent that why would you focus on Martial when he has the people behind him to provide for him? He scores. It even showed last year. He scored 23 goals. He could have had more. There's plenty of chances he missed at the end of the season, especially in that Sevilla game. He could have had a hat-trick in the semi-final Europa League. So he clearly gets in positions and works off Rashford and Mason Greenwood. I think if you take Martial out and put Cavani or Harry Kane, which is what they all say, we're like, oh, I need to go spend 200 million on Harry Kane. Yeah, let's go spend 200 million on 27 injury-prone fucking striker that's never going to play for us because he's always injured. Harry Kane's a great player, I'm not denying that, but he's not really what we need. It's the exact reason why we got rid of Lukaku. We don't want a fucking typical English or heavy striker up top to head the ball in, because that's not how we play at the moment. We don't cross the ball. We play interchanging forwards who sometimes the forward drops back into a false 9, lets the wingers come in. It's similar to Liverpool. That's why Liverpool don't really need a striker. They have Firmino. I think they'd be better with a striker, but at the same time, it's working for them. They won the Champions League and the Prem, and we're doing something similar. So why would we want someone like Harry Kane? That's why we're getting backups in Cavani, that when we need a plan B, that's when we can do some sort of like that, when we can cross the ball, because Martial is not the greatest at heading. But even then, Martial scored 2 headers last year and they were amazing, so he can do it if he's given the right ball. We just have terrible crosses at the ball at the club, so I don't agree with that whatsoever. It really makes me think, do these ex-pro players literally never watch a game of football? It's so mind-blowing to me. It's like they watch one game of football and they're like, I think United need Harry Kane, and you're like, we just let 20 goals in the fucking last season. Our defense is terrible, and you want to focus on the player that was actually playing well last year. It makes absolutely no sense to me. Martial's a great player. He's 24. He scored 17 goals in the Prem last year. Same with Rashford. And if you take Martial out of that, it literally defeats the purpose of having Mason Greenwood and Rashford as the inside forwards, because they rely on Martial for interchanging play and interchanging roles for them to score goals as well. That's why you saw Mason get so many goals. That's why you saw Rashford get so many goals, because they interchange so much and they help each other out with goals. So we don't need that central striker that's going to stand there and tap the ball in 24/7. Yeah, it might help, but that's not how we're playing at the moment, so we don't really need it. It's like they literally just think the game is still in the 90s and we still play 4-4-2 or one up top, and you smack the ball to the big man and they head the ball in. That's literally all they think. And that's why Scholes, Keane, Neville, all these people failed as managers. They're not ingrained in watching the football as much as, I would even say, fans. Like, even fans have great ideas, and I wouldn't put yourself down as a fan, because I think that we're more intelligent than some people might think. You know what I mean? Like, you might think, oh, Paul Scholes used to play football, he should be a great manager, but you've seen he went to Oldham for like 3 weeks and left. Like, you know what I mean? Like, some of their opinions is just ridiculous. It makes no sense. So yeah, I just wanted to come on, get that off my chest. I think Martial is one of the players that we literally don't need to focus on right now. We need to focus on the bad players like Harry Maguire, our defenders, like some of our midfielders. Even Pogba's been terrible. Like, getting rid of the average players like McTominay and fucking Fred. Like, Fred's got something in him, but like, he's just so average sometimes. Like, our forward three is not what we want to be complaining about right now. And I just think these ex-pros getting in the media and saying that, like, oh, we need a striker like Harry Kane. It's like, it's just not needed. Like, it's not needed at the moment. Like, you know, like, they scored 60 goals each not 60 goals each. Jesus Christ, we'd be fucking Messi, Neymar and Suarez, wouldn't we? No, but they all together, front three, scored over 60 goals, which is one of the best in Europe. That wasn't a problem last year, so why is it a problem now? It's literally just because we're playing bad. They needed something to talk about, because once they're on air, once they get interviewed, they don't want to piss off their English friends. I'm sure Paul Scholes knows Harry Maguire. I'm sure Gary Neville knows Harry Maguire. I'm sure, like, they all know the English players, and they never bash on them. So I just hate when they come into a new season, the foreign players not playing well, in Martial or Pogba or something like that, and they're in on them straight away. Even though Martial, like, he hasn't really had the help to play well. The whole team's been shit. Martial is our number 9 for now. He will improve. He's still young. Give him the chance to improve. He scored 23 goals in his first full season as a striker. First full season. He was in the top 7, I think, for Prem goals. He was 5 behind top scorer in the Prem. It's not like he was 15 behind Harry Kane in the Prem when Harry Kane's banging in. No, 5. And I think he was even less. Harry Kane wasn't even top scorer last year, so he was even less behind Harry Kane. So why do we need Harry Kane? It makes no sense. So I just need to get this off my chest. Tell me what you think in the comment section below. Do you like Martial? Do you think we need a proper number 9? Someone like a Harry Kane kind of sort of vibe? But yeah, let me know. I really appreciate it. I just need to get it off my chest. I just think some of the ex-pros and their opinions on the way United play and what we need is just ridiculous sometimes. And I think they really need a reality check. And yeah, Paul Scholes got it today on Twitter. So yeah, I appreciate it. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We're a new channel out here. I really appreciate it. It really helps us out. Hit the notification bell, stay updated with all our videos. I really appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.